Welcome to the deep dive. Ever stop and wonder why some messages just, land while others seem to vanish? Even big names sometimes struggle.
Oh, absolutely.
For years, getting attention, well, it was very much a top-down affair. A few big media gatekeepers kind of called the shots.
The old guard.
But today, we're diving into something huge, a massive shift, really, that's taking apart that old structure, especially now in 2025.
Yeah.
And it's going to fundamentally change how you get your information and, honestly, how anyone, big or small, makes their voice heard.
It's fascinating, isn't it, how deeply the whole game is changing. We're seeing this thing emerge. People are calling it decentralized PR.
Decentralized PR.
And that's our mission for this deep dive, really, to unpack this completely new way of doing things, how it's driven by AI tools, by creator platforms, super focused niche media, and brands just talking directly to their audience.
It feels like a total flip, like the whole center of gravity has just moved.
It really has.
It's not just those few powerful players anymore controlling the story.
Yeah.
It's much more spread out, like an ecosystem.
Exactly, a distributed ecosystem.
And what our sources seem to keep saying is that this new way, it's not only faster, maybe cheaper, but, and this is the bit I find interesting, it's actually more authentic.
Surprisingly so, yeah.
Right.
Which seems counterintuitive sometimes, but it holds up.
Why is that, though? I'm curious about the authentic part.
Well, let's look at the big picture first. This collapse of traditional PR, it helps to remember that old system, right? Brands absolutely needed journalists. They needed the big agencies, the traditional newspapers, TV stations.
They were the gatekeepers. No way around them, really.
Pretty much. They decided who got heard on a mass scale. The arbiters of information, you could say.
Okay, so if that was the old model, what does this collapse actually look like now in 2025? What are we seeing that shows it's crumbling?
Well, the sources are pretty clear. This old hierarchy, it's genuinely collapsing. And the new landscape, this decentralized PR thing, it's like a whole network.
A network of what?
Of things like micro pitches, really targeted messages to just one person or a tiny group. Peer features, where maybe creators or similar brands boost each other.
Ah, okay. Like cross-promotion, but more organic.
Sort of, yeah. Plus AI doing a lot of the outreach legwork, and maybe most importantly, the audience itself spreading the word. Audience-led amplification.
Right. So it's not just a small change.
No, it's fundamental. It changes how influence gets built, how you find out about things every single day, and how companies or groups talk, well, directly to you now.
That makes a lot of sense. So, okay, gatekeepers are losing their grip. What actually matters for influence now? Is it still about reaching millions or something else?
That's the key shift, really.
Which brings us to this idea of decentralized influence. Niche over mass, right?
Yeah.
Our sources are saying getting into that top-tier newspaper, it just doesn't pack the same punch anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That front page splash isn't the ultimate goal it once was. Not always, anyway.
So what is the goal then?
The new powerhouses, they're not just super targeted. They're built on trust. Like a really specific kind of trust.
Trust, okay.
So landing a mention on a tiny podcast, maybe a newsletter for, I don't know, left-handed knitters.
Yeah. Super specific.
Or getting a shout out from an influencer who's respected in one particular field, that actually matters way more now for getting people to act, for building real credibility.
And that must be where this idea of micro-trust comes in. Our sources keep mentioning that. Why does that niche coverage, the stuff with high trust like indie newsletters or LinkedIn experts, specific communities, why does that beat mass reach when it comes to actually converting people or seeming credible?
Well, think about it. Those audiences, they chose to be there. They actively followed that specific voice, that specific topic.
They opted in.
Exactly. So you're not just hitting eyeballs. You're reaching people who are already leaning in, ready to listen, maybe ready to act. A recommendation from someone you really trust in your little corner of the internet, it just carries so much more weight than some generic ad blasted everywhere. It's built on, shared interest, real engagement, not just scale.
It makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What kind of trust do you listening now value most? Is it the big established name, or is it that deep dive from someone you really respect in a niche you care about?
That's the core question.
It's like the internet just let us form millions of tiny effective tribes.
Yeah.
And AI seems to be the engine behind a lot of this.
Definitely a huge enabler.
So when we say AI is becoming your publicist, what does that actually mean day to day? How is it automating outreach in ways we couldn't do before?
Well, the automation revolution is truly hitting PR. You've got AI tools literally writing pitches now, or at least drafting them, making outreach incredibly efficient.
It's just faster. Or
Yeah.
smarter, too.
Smarter, absolutely. AI can scan what journalists are asking for in real time, track breaking trends, figure out the angle. It's basically rewriting the outreach playbook. Yeah, the speed and the targeting are just unprecedented. It's not just doing the old job faster, it's changing what the job is. It forces you to think about, human intuition versus what the data says is the best
That's
message.
like having this superpowered assistant.
Exactly. A research assistant, pitch writer, trend spotter, all rolled into one, working 24/7 at a scale no human team could ever match.
That's a massive shift. And it feels like a natural step from there to this other big trend, owned media, brands becoming their own media outlets.
Yep, cutting out the middleman.
How are they doing that?
They're building their own platforms. You see brands with dedicated newsletters that people actually want to read, or
Like-
full-on YouTube series, private communities even, where they talk directly with their people, creating their own little media world.
And this is where it gets really interesting for you, the listener, right? Think about your favorite brand. Imagine them not just selling you stuff, but being a go-to source for info or entertainment in that area.
They're not just pushing products. They're informing, engaging, building a direct line, a real relationship.
And that direct connection, that must fuel this other thing getting seen, going viral, without needing the old gatekeepers at all.
Absolutely. We've seen some really compelling examples lately. Startups, individual creators, even nonprofits, just completely bypassing traditional media.
Yeah, I remember when getting national buzz meant you had to be on the evening news or in the big papers.
Right.
But now, these folks are getting national attention because something blew up on social media or took off on Reddit, or they wrote something powerful on Substack or Medium.
It really shows that shift, doesn't it? From pay to play, where you needed big bucks.
To pitch to impact, where a great story that connects is what matters most. You don't always need the huge budget. You need resonance.
Which naturally has caused some serious headaches for the traditional PR firm.
I bet.
A lot of the big agencies, they're struggling to keep up. This new ecosystem moves so fast, it's so different.
Well, yeah, their whole value was based on those old connections, the Rolodex, the access to
Wow.
gatekeepers.
Exactly. And our sources really hammer this home. The value now comes from speed, from sharp targeting, from being transparent, not just the big monthly retainer and the old names.
It's amazing how fast things can get turned upside down when what people value actually changes, from access to, well, direct connection and smart data.
And if you're connecting in new ways, you definitely need new ways to measure if it's working.
Right. The old metrics don't cut it anymore.
Not really. Metrics that matter now, they go way beyond just impressions. We're seeing this huge shift away from just counting eyeballs or, how many press clippings you got.
Because an impression doesn't mean anyone actually cared or even noticed, does it?
Precisely. So the new KPIs, the things that really show impact, what should we as listeners look for? What really counts today?
Yeah, what are they?
Things like actual mentions in relevant places, getting backlinks, which help with search visibility, tracking sentiment, like what's the feeling in the conversation about you?
Sentiment. Okay.
Also, your share of voice in a specific topic. How much of the conversation are you driving? And maybe the most crucial one, genuine community conversation. Are people actually talking, engaging, discussing?
So it's much deeper than just being seen.
Much deeper. It's about actual impact, interaction, resonance. Did it land? Did it matter?
Okay, so let's recap here. The big transformation we're seeing is the whole PR world is flattening out.
Flattening.
And this is happening because, well, trust in the big old institutions is going down.
Yep, that's a huge factor.
And at the same time, AI is making these powerful tools available to almost anyone, not just the big agencies with deep pockets.
Exactly. Democratizing the toolkit. It's a whole new reality. Brands aren't just talking through the press anymore. They're talking with the people, building those direct lines.
So the final thought to leave you with, consider what all this really means. This huge shift for the future of information, how we decide who and what to trust, and maybe even for your own voice, your ability to get traction, to be heard in a world where, wow, pretty much everyone can be a publisher now.
It's a profound change.
What does this mean for how you are going to navigate this new media world? How will you contribute? Something to think about.